your God power. Get everything you ever wanted and live the life of your dreams. The Master's Course. Copyright 2010 by Richard Lee McKim Jr. All rights reserved. Let the quest for knowing begin. The reality of ghosts. We know that the body is only a projected representation designed to be realistic and believable, and it is. However, we also know that we primarily came for the physical human experience. We wanted the whole experience. That includes being born, growing up, eating, drinking, mating, dying, and all the experiences in between. However, these elements are only different experiential aspects that are all strung together to create the entire physical human experience from the beginning to the end. Even though it is a package deal, any and all of those parts can be omitted. We've already seen that a person, Therese Newman, doesn't have to eat or drink in order to continue their physical human experience. Refer to Chapter 10, The Reality of Your Body as a Representation. While you don't have to be born to experience this physical reality either, it does help to be born if you also want to experience a state of immersion, where you believe that you really are a physical being in a real-world setting. However, if you are willing, you can just pop in to existence at any age with any look you want, just as easily as turning on a light switch. Your body is just a projection which is constantly being changed to reflect the physical state, age, and experience of your self-concept. That is, a perfect representation of your view of yourself. At this point, we already know that nothing is really happening in the physical realm. Everything physical is only one method to convey meaning. The other is thought. Every second, it is actually much faster than that, your body is represented again and again, each time with subtle changes from the time before. Think of a movie projector. While the movie seems realistic in how the people move on the screen, it is really thousands of still pictures projected in a sequence to appear like movement. Your body and everything around you is the same way. Although it may seem solid and static, it is really regenerating from a pattern so fast that your perception is unable to discern the difference. If you were unable to notice the changing pictures in a movie at a measly 40 frames per second, how could you notice reality's cycle rate at the speeds that it changes? It is probably some gazillion cycles per second. At the subatomic level, our science has been able to show that electrons, protons, and neutrons regularly flash out of existence and back again. This is the basis of creation. It is actually recreation over and over again. When a ghost, quote unquote, appears in the flesh, it is not any different than you appearing just now. The only difference is that you have been appearing consistently from the moment of your conception, and it seems realistic because you have had a history from birth of appearing. However, for a ghost or another non-physical being like you, there's no history of physicality. They just go from nothing to something. That's why you call them a ghost, because they appear in the image of someone that you know has died. Of course, they had to do that because that is the only way you can recognize them. If they appeared as a different person or a different image, would you have known that they were a ghost? Do you think that every single person that you have ever met was born? Do you think that this universe is so limited that the only way you can become physical is to be born? No, it is not. The only reason that you wanted to be born was first for the experience of it, and second, so that you would be able to have a real life human experience in total immersion. Being born really helps with the belief in the physical human experience. There is no way that you would have believed in your physical human experience if you had just arrived one day without any history to justify your existence. For those who just pop into existence, that's the price they pay, still knowing who they really are and not experiencing total immersion into the movie of real life. Everything has its benefits and drawbacks. However, there is nothing as exciting and fun as total immersion, where you really believe you are physical and you go about making your way, experiencing all the joys and sorrows of life on earth. It is your immersion into your own reality that keeps you from knowing who these people are. If you fully believe in the physical experience of birth, life, and death, then even if you were talking to a person who just popped into existence, the subject of the birth will never come up, or you will be told something that you can believe. That is the nature of your reality. It keeps your life real for you. The literature is full of stories of strangers who suddenly appear out of nowhere and helped a person right when they needed it, and then vanished into thin air. They are often called angels because they are always doing good deeds. However, they could very well be your relatives or friends that have died and come back to help you. Sometimes they appear as you remember them. That's when you would call them a ghost or something else. But if they appear as someone else, so as not to disturb your reality, then you would never know who they really were, which for most people is just as it should be.
To continue, go to How to Use Your God Power, chapter number 10, segment number 57. Let your quest for knowing continue.